Howdy, I'm Toto, and welcome to the video version of Space Aliens Hide My Drugs. Now, it might be a little disjointed, rambling, and discombobulated. So yeah, you might want to ask yourself, so why should I pay any attention? Well, because, even though my work has always been faction, which is a cross between fact and fiction, and what nobody realizes, even the fiction's true. All my lies are true, darling. The reason you should listen, because you're going to find out some things you can find out only from someone who's been there, done that, and almost died from it, and who is the world's greatest computer hacker. Now, you're probably saying to yourself, this guy got a big head. There's 14-year-olds out there living in their parents' basement. They're doing amazing things. They know stuff nobody else is ever going to know until they bring it to the world. And then, the corporations, Bill Gates, all them, they'll steal it from them. But the world's greatest computer hacker is someone who finds a basic flaw in a computer operating system and keeps their fucking mouth shut. And it's true. See, all this virus, malware, protection stuff, they don't protect you off the bat. What they do is they monitor the internet, and when they find stuff that's fucking people up, then they jump right on it and find a fix. And then they send out that fix to everybody, say, see, we're taking care of it, but they weren't taking care of the people who actually discovered it, the people whose systems went to shit. Well, see, if nobody's out there bragging about it and performing actions that point to it, like, taking over the CIA's, basic home web screen, or stealing people's data and using it, and all this involves bragging to their friends. Well, there's a few. I may be the world's greatest computer hacker, but there's a few others out there who are also the world's greatest computer hacker, because they kept their mouth fucking shut too when they discovered a few things. So, all this, you don't need a WikiLeaks person if you got some of these secrets. You can find out anything you want. Like the fact, after you've been, after you've helped turn the richest man in the world into a common criminal and decided that he needs to pay for those crimes, because there is a new marshal in town with a U.S. Marshal's number tattooed right on his arm. And the new marshal ain't like the old marshal. The old marshal, if he was rich or had some pull, you didn't have to worry about him. Now the new marshal in town says it's time to worry. See, how many of you know about Microsoft's little black ops teams? See, you don't, and you never will, because they're actually, according to all of Microsoft's little documents hidden away deep in their security stuff, they like to call themselves the blue ops team, some of these guys. I gather from reading their stuff that they're named after the Microsoft blue screen that you get when Windows crashes. They think that's pretty funny. And their job is basically to make people's lives crash and this sure made mine crash. And so they all became criminals. I don't really mind, except they fucked my family and my friends. And between them and the Justice Department, see, the Justice Department, that all that antitrust shit, that wasn't to get that, to nail Microsoft with the antitrust. That was to got Bad Billy G involved with all the lobbies. See, he used to be a pirate. Attila T. Hun and Dr. Daniel Flickinger both agreed that Bad Billy G was a pirate. Now, a pirate's not really a criminal. A pirate's someone who just takes what he wants. And often he's associated with the state. You know, like the old pirates, they raided for the queen and country, and they got paid well, and they weren't a problem until they started robbing the queen. The Bad Billy G, the problem with his piracy, he was making a load off of it, and the government wasn't getting their share. Well, come the antitrust suit, and they draw him in pretty soon, you know. He's got lobbyists in Washington. He's contributing to political people. He's in the system. And the way they got him in, they used the same... see, I've read all the things from all these big charities Gates is involved with. And Bad Billy G, see, the federal government used the same approach as all these big charities. Matter of fact, a lot of their information came from them, and they said it worked for them, it'll work for us. They were all in this shit together. I mean, what you got to realize is that these people, their basic view of Bad Billy G is here's a poor boy who, unlike myself, didn't have what it took to stick with it and get an advanced degree. And this always made him feel a bit like a little man. And he's fought that all. Now he's tried to overcome it. You know, like overcompensation. You girls, you know what 8 inches is, you know. When you say this is 8 inches, that's a little overcompensation, okay? Well, he's always surrounded himself with people who don't have degrees, and a lot of his stuff, he takes a lot of pride in everybody. Tell you, he takes all these smart fucking people and builds his success out of smart people. He turns all the stuff he's stolen over them to develop, and he is a hell of a businessman, he runs a hell of a fucking ship, man. And that little flag, see, that little Microsoft flag, that's pirate flag. That's the flag he flies. Now the Blue Ops team, is supposed to be protect that poor boy. Instead they put him in a position where someday soon, when his children find out that there's people out there you can fuck with, if you don't want to fuck with their family and their friends too, because they might be the new marshal in town, and there might be some blowback. And when they found out how it blew back on them and their friends and their family, they'd be saying, "Daddy, are you the dumbest son of a bitch in the world? Why didn't you kill this guy? Guy up there in Canada, he ain't bothering nobody. He's writing some rambling goddamn shit, makes Rabid Wombat say, hey, drop the crack pipe and back slowly away from the keyboard," but you couldn't leave it at that, could you? You know, the government's telling him to shut up. His friends is telling him to shut up. Anybody with common sense is telling him to shut up. But you had to fuck with him instead of killing him. Now, according to the Blue Ops team in Microsoft, their files, that was an option. And I don't know why they didn't take it. And I gather it's because they finally decided, fucking crazy guy like this, anytime you think maybe he's a threat, you just fuck with him, his mind to go somewhere else. But there was also something in there. It's a little kind of like that Supreme Court judge has a dissenting opinion. Somebody there had the sense to say, excuse me, boy, I may have ADD and be a little flighty and a little weird and might be a little scattered, but he also has Tourette's and ADD and OCD. And OCD, when he does concentrate, he concentrates hard. And he's also a Taurus, he don't let go. They didn't listen to that person. They said, we won't kill him, we'll fuck him. Which is fine, I'm kind of a Zen guy. They want to fuck me, that's fine, but when they fuck my family, when they fuck my friends, well, there's blowback, there's payback. And the new marshal in town doesn't care. About who you are, how much money you got, who you're connected to, or even about how many government agents and Yahoo common moron taters on the internet take a look at what you do, what you're saying, who you are, and go bad, 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 bad. See, it's done to me. It's my private business. And my family's my private business. And I make the decisions. And I'm sure everybody out there will rant and fucking rave and say he's not being a good person. Fuck being a good person. Now, I don't need to hear any crap from all you people who sit there while the goddamn bankers are fucking you. All the money people are fucking you. All the politicians are fucking you. You put your goddamn money into retirement for like 40 years. They just stole it, put it in the general fund, spent it all on their little, paying themselves for not growing pigs and not growing cotton. You're just taking it in the ass from them. The Federal Reserve, all these bankers, all the stuff comes out. They've been fucking you, knowing they're fucking you from the get-go, and then they collect a few $1 trillion because they're too big to fail. Because they've been fucking you for so long, they got all the money, so we can't let them fail. Instead of giving trillions to the American public and making their lives better, we're going to give it to these people that fucked you. So, hey, anybody got a problem with me? Hey, since nobody has started the fucking revolution, you got nothing to say about what I do. Because I told you in 1989, the revolution is now. Alex Jones believed it. He's got a website with that very title. The revolution is now. Well, I left a little disc explaining that in a courthouse in Estevan, Saskatchewan, and inside the wall of a house in Beanfate, Saskatchewan. And I don't know why these turds want to fuck with me for years and damage my brain. Make no mistake, I am brain damaged. As a house guest at Janet Reno for 3 fucking years, courtesy of Bad Billy G and all the scumbags in Seattle and Tacoma with your nice little suits and ties. My brain is going faster and faster. 3 years of torture for being disabled. You don't want to have Tourette's when you go to prison. Better, you should be a quadriplegic. You get a little sympathy, you get maybe taken care of. You got Tourette's, you are fucked. They have a problem with the word Nazi rat fucker. I have no idea why. But anyway, it's going to be a long, winding road. It's going to be a little discombobulated, a little babbling. Probably may not go in a linear fucking direction. And it might take longer than the 30 seconds it takes to, tweet somebody. I know you're used to living your life in 30 seconds excrements. But it might be worth your while. You might find out a lot of things which you can believe or disbelieve, and it don't matter. Now, you might not find out nothing at all, because this is just a prelude. Space Aliens Had My Drugs. And by the way, it's dedicated to James Dalton Bell, Marshall McLuhan, and Timothy fucking McVeigh, who were part of the Army of Dog. And that's one of the reasons they put me in prison. They were a little bit afraid of the Army of Dog. And the Circle of Eunuchs. They stopped being afraid of the Circle of Eunuchs. But that was a mistake. Anyway, you know who they are. I copyrighted they in the big letters and trademark. They're not your friends. And they don't want you to know a lot of things. And this video might disappear, even though it's just a prelude. Well, if it does, then nobody's going to find out the names, dates, places, and the facts behind how a whole shitload of people paid for their crimes and how their friends and their family paid for their crimes. They delete Prelude, well then they don't want to know and they don't want you to know. Otherwise, you're going to find out a lot of goddamn things. And you're going to find out, well, some of it's going to be songs like from the last Canadian outlaw, Mr. C.J. Parker. The last Canadian outlaw, well, you find out why. And you find out why they shouldn't have fucked with the last Canadian outlaw. They should have killed him. That was one of the options. They had it right there in front of them. They decided not to kill him. Well, that was a mistake. Now, if they want to use the guns and the heavy hands and, all those people that aren't your friends, like Google, Microsoft, all the big corporate people, if they want to make this disappear, that's okay. But it won't be disappearing completely. If you look hard enough, you can find it. It doesn't matter if they wipe the Prelude off the face of the earth and none of the other chapters ever get posted. They'll be out there. You just ask a member of the army of God, a member of the army of dog, the army of God dog, the army of dog God, or a member of the circle of eunuchs who may not even exist. Hi, I'm Toto. Welcome to the Prelude of Space Aliens.